the world has been established in such a way that what is going on, that is in accordance with the rules of physics. That's an established system being established by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But sometime when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wills other way around. So He demeans a rule of physics. What He does? He demeans it. Demeans means He suspends it. And the things happen other way around. That is called ihala. That's called what? Ihala. Aversion. Ihala means aversion. So for example, jumping into a deep sea, entering into a deep sea, rule of physics is that it will drown you. What is the rule of physics? It will drown you. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala demeant it in case of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam along with children of Israel. Got it? Jumping into a burning fire, it will burn you. That's the rule of physics, established rule. But in case of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, Allah demeant it. So Ibrahim was sitting, he was enjoying there inside. A sharp knife, it will cut the throat. But in case of Ismail, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala demeant it. Otherwise, the same knife cutted the throat of a ram, but not the throat of Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam. So that's called what? Ihala. What? Ihala. And another thing is that future is known to Allah alone, not to anybody else. But sometime somebody has been inspired by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before time. That's called ilham, inspiration. Got it? Now, if something metaphysically that happened on the hand of a prophet before prophethood, so that is called irhas. What? Irhas. Like Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, a newborn baby, he was not messenger at that time. But he spoke like a mature man. قال إني عبد الله آتاني الكتاب وجعلني نبيا وجعلني مباركا وأوصاني بالصلاة والزكاة ما دمت حيا وبرا بوالدتي ولم يجعلني جبارا شقيا. He spoke like a mature man, otherwise he was a newborn baby. But later on he was appointed as a messenger. So such like metaphysical thing from a messenger who was not messenger at that time, that's called irhas. And when he is appointed as a messenger and something metaphysical that happened, so that's called mu'jiza or miracle. Mu'jiza. If something happened by the hand of a kafir metaphysically, so that's called istidraj. That's called what? Istidraj. And if something metaphysical happened by the hand of a practical Muslim, so that's called karamat. So these are the terms used in Arabic language. Irhas, istidraj, karamat, mu'jiza. Otherwise, in existence, all four are one and the same. Miracles. So there are the karamat of Umar raziyallahu ta'ala anhu. Mean some metaphysical happening. In his Khulafat, a general by the name of Sariya ibn Zunaym raziyallahu anhu. Sariya ibn Zunaym. He was fighting there on a front in Iraq. And that was Friday. Sayyidina Umar was giving khutbah in Masjid Nabawi. And in the meantime, in his khutbah, he said 3 times, Ya Sariyatul Jabal al-Jabal, Ya Sariyatul Jabal al-Jabal, Ya Sariyatul Jabal al-Jabal. Wa sallallahu ta'ala ala khairi khalqi Muhammadin wa alihi wa ashabi ajma'in bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Then he carried on his khutbah. Now Sahaba, Tabi'een were sitting there in Masjid. Sariya is in Iraq. Umar is here on the member giving khutbah, Sariyatul Jabal al-Jabal. That, oh Sariya, yeah, oh Sariya, look at the mountain, look at the mountain, look at the mountain. Ya Sariyatul Jabal al-Jabal. They didn't ask Umar radiallahu anhu after prayer that what happened. But when Sariya came back from the mission, so he said that because Karguzari, in Jamaat we call it what? Karguzari. So he was relating his Karguzari. The Khalifa, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also used to ask the general that just the Karguzari. Got it? Our Karguzari is very sweet, yes. Then those people were very good and they made food for us and they were not allowing for us. That is the actual Karguzari. Yes. Yes, Waqas is going for this Karguzari, not the other one. Okay. You are ready for other one? Sure. Okay. So anyhow, Sariya radiallahu ta'ala, he was relating his Karguzari. He said that it was Friday time, prayer time, and fight was going on. He said the army or the enemy, they were on the hilltop, and we were beneath. A few days passed away like this. He said that suddenly somebody called me that Sariya, go to the mountain, go to the mountain. And 3 times he didn't say that who called me. He said somebody told me and he called me that go to the mountain, go to the mountain. 3 times he said it. And he said that I took my army and then we attacked them and we defeated them. Got it? But at that time when Umar was saying, Ya Sariyatul Jabal al-Jabal, so nobody asked Umar. But some of them, they came to Ali, they said, Ali? He said, yes. Said, what was going on? Sariya is in Iraq. Amir al-Mu'mineen was standing here on member and he was giving khutbah. And he said, Ya Sariyatul Jabal al-Jabal. So what was the base of this saying? He said, to the best of my knowledge and observation, as much as I know. Umar, in his lifetime, he never spoke a word which is baseless. He never spoke a word which is baseless. Whenever he speaks, it has some base. But he says that he knows the base. I don't know that why he said it, but he knows the base. Got it? So that was metaphysical thing. That was metaphysical thing. That how Umar, he found out that Sariya is in difficult situation. Yes, number 1. And number 2, how he was inspired that call on Sariya and he will hear you. Got it? Qais ibn al-Hajjaj says that in Egypt there is a place which is called Buna. When Amr ibn al-As radiallahu ta'ala an, he conquered Egypt. As I told you that at that time Cairo was not there. Cairo was not there. So Amr ibn al-As radiallahu ta'ala, when he conquered the area, Umar radiallahu ta'ala told him that just make a town or a village for your army. So he made a village temporarily, erected the tents, erected That's what a big village like Mina. Mina is a big town, but that is made of what? Tents. So he made the village, and that was named as Al-Fustat. Fustat means the tent. Still Fustat is here. That's part of Cairo. Abdul Qadir, you visited Egypt? Never ever? Okay. So anyhow, Fustat, that is now part of Cairo. Cairo was built up by Al-Qahir Billah. By who? By Al-Qahir Billah. That's why it's called Al-Qahira. So anyhow, so in Buna, Amr ibn al-As radiallahu ta'ala anhu, these people came to him and they said that Sayyidina Amr, since before Islam, we have a tradition. That's our custom. That's our custom. That a time comes on Nile River, it does not come up to give us water for irrigation. So then we ask the ruler of the area. So he pick up one family, and from that family, a young girl he takes, and then we make her like a bride and take her to Nile. We throw it to Nile, and then the Nile at night it jumps and give us the water. That was their custom. But now, as we have accepted Islam and you have conquered the area, so what? He said, what? Said, this is a, said, what is Mushrikana Rasam? What is this? Got it? He said, let me ask Amirul Mumineen. Got it? Because to throw the daughter of someone to the river to give us water? Why? So he said, let me write a letter to Sayyidina Umar. So he sent a letter to Sayyidina Umar. When Umar read it, so he wrote a letter. And the letter was, Min Abdullah Umar ibn al-Khattab, that this is a letter from the slave of Allah Umar ibn al-Khattab, ila Nil, to river Nil. Letter written by Umar to what? To Nile River. He said, Ayyuhan Nil, that in kunta tajri bi amrillahi al-wahid al-qahar fanas'aluhu an yujriyak. If you are flowing with the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is ghalib and prevailing entity, so we ask him to make you flow. Got it? Wa illa fala nahtaju ilayk. If you are not flowing with the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we don't want it. We don't want you. Yes, just have your water with you. We don't like it. Like this. And he ordered Sayyidina Amr ibn al-As radiallahu ta'ala that on that very day you should go there and give this letter to Nile. Yes, and people, they joined Sayyidina Amr ibn al-As radiallahu ta'ala, and he said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Min Amir al-Mu'mineen Umar ibn al-Khattab ila Nil. And he threw it. So in that case, in their case, they told Sayyidina Amr ibn al-As radiallahu ta'ala, at daytime we were throwing the lady, at night time it was jumping. Yes, and now when he threw the letters, right away it jumped. Sayyidina Umar said, run away, otherwise he will jump over you. Got it? So these are called what? Karamat Umar. Khawat ibn Jubair radiallahu ta'ala anhu says, it was drought, killing drought. So Sayyidina Umar came out of city for istisqa, asking for rain. He prayed 2 rakat. And he did qalb al-rida. This qalb al-rida, according to Jumhur, including Imam Muhammad and Abu Yusuf, rahimahumullah. According to them, it is sunnah. According to Abu Hanifa, that is not. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did it only once. And that is qalb al-rida. And qalb al-rida is like this. This is the cloak. Yes. To hold this one with your left hand and this beneath one with your right hand here from. Yes. And to take it like this. Yes. Other way around. Got it? So that was a tafawul, that our condition, change it like this up to 180. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did it once. So now they took it as a sunnah. And Sayyidina Abu Hanifa said, Rahmatullah, that's not sunnah. Got it? Otherwise, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to do it every time, but he didn't. Got it? So anyhow, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala, he practiced that practice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's called qalb al-rida. That's called what? See? Yeah, turning over the clock. Turning over the clock. So Khawat ibn Jubair says, Raziyallahu ta'ala an, after that he made a dua. Now he has not taken one step from his place. And we saw that the clouds were running like crazy from all around. And suddenly, like somebody is pouring down the drums of water. And then some Bidwans, they came to Medina and they were on their way from outside. So all of them, they were wet. And their cattle were wet as well. So they said that we were coming on our way. These clouds, when these were coming, we have never seen such like run and rush of clouds in our lifetime. But they said in the Sahara and the desert, when these clouds were coming, so we heard a few times from that cloud that Ya Abu Hafs Ja al-Ghaws. Abu Hafs is the nickname of Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. That the clouds were saying, Ya Abu Hafs Ja al-Ghaws, that your dua is accepted. The ilmi and amali services of Umar radiyallahu anhu. Regarding his services in ilm, that is more than enough, which Imam Nawawi narrated in Tahzib. Imam Nawawi has written so many books. One of his book name is Tahzib lin Nawawi. So Imam Nawawi has written in Tahzib that Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu anhu was asked by someone that in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was giving fatwa? The Prophet Allah is there. So in his time, was there anyone who was giving fatwa? So Abdullah ibn Umar says, to the best of my knowledge, I have never seen but only Abu Bakr and Umar, they were allowed to give fatwa. In the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, only Abu Bakr and Umar, they were giving fatwa. Imam Tabari, he narrated that Imran ibn Sawada, he said that I prayed Fajr with Umar. So he asked me, do you need something? When he was walking, so I was following him. So he asked me that, Amr, do you need something? I said, yes. So he took me with him. When I sat with him, he said, what's your need? He said, question. So he asked me, what's the question? So he said that you stopped Umrah in Hajj days. Okay? Through a straight declaration. You said that there is no Umrah in Hajj days. Got it? While Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he never did it. Abu Bakr never stopped it. So Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala said that I have not made it haram. I have not made it haram because that is halal to do Umrah in the days of Hajj. Got it? Yeah. But I have stopped it because I heard that some people say that Hajj is too much hustle and bustle. So let's do Umrah. That's the easy way out. So he said, that's why I said that there is no Umrah allowed in Hajj days. Got it? Nikah Muta. Thanks God, Bilal is here. Nikah Muta. It was prohibited in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam in Ghazwa Khaybar. Then amazing. The hadith is narrated by Sayyidina Ali and Jabir ibn Abdullah. That Nahan Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam an al-mut'a wa an luhum al-humur al-ahliyati yawma Khaybara. Sayyidina Ali says radiyallahu ta'ala an that domestic donkeys, one is domestic donkey and the other one is wild donkey. Wild donkey is the strips one. Yes. The zebra. Yes. But these are domestic donkey. So that was eatable and they were eating it. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbade it in Khaybar. And number two, mut'a, he forbade it in Khaybar. Got it? But then after Khaybar, there is a valley we pass through between Hunain and Taif. That's called Autas. So a battle happened there which is called Ghazwa Autas. So there Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam allowed mut'a only for 3 days. Yes, in Bilal area for 3 months, but at that time it was only for 3 days. And then it became haram forever. But later on, when the state, Islamic state was too much expanded, so Umar got the news that in some corners of the state there are people still they think that mut'a is halal. So then Umar radiallahu ta'ala, he issued a declaration in this regard. And as you know that the Shia community, they have enmity with Umar for God's sake. So whatever Umar declared, so they don't want to follow it. Got it? They say that Umar forbade it. Oh, Umar did not forbid it. Rasulullah forbade it. Umar declared it as a rule of state. Is what? Rule of state or declaration of state. Same is the case of talaq salasa. What? 3 talaq at once. 3 talaq at once. In one sitting, if somebody said to his wife that ante taliqun salasan, ya ante taliqun wa taliqun wa taliqun, that you are divorced and divorced and divorced. So 3 times, so it is 3. Ya ante taliqun salasan, you are divorced 3 times. So that is 3. But Sayyidina Umar came to know that taliqun wa taliqun wa taliqun, that some people think that this repetition is not number. This repetition is not number.